Good morning and welcome. This is Human Reaction, and today I'm going to speak about a concept called conscious control. Now, don't have an aversion to the word control. It's not dominator and victim. It's being responsible, taking leadership over yourself, and controlling and guiding your use pattern just as much as one would control the amount of sugar you put into a cake, the temperature of the oven, the number of eggs. This is a place where you have control over the ingredients and you direct them and put them together in the way that you want to so that you can make the best cake. So the control over your psychophysical mechanism is a control for the better. It's not a control to say, you will do this, that, and the other because I'm captain. It's saying, I'm the captain. I can take responsibility. I can learn these wonderful things about myself and I can apply them so that I can be free and happy and able to do difficult things and life, which is not easy. So in the olden days, when we were still in the animal kingdom, it was all fine because we were led by our instincts and our sensory appreciation that I spoke about last time was accurate. So there was no need to try and figure out or have self-knowledge about yourself and try and refine and rejuvenate this use pattern. It just was fine. There was no problem. Now we have over many centuries gotten ourselves into a very artificial place and we're living, we're sitting. Sitting is quite, it's artificial and we're stressed. That's also not very natural. It wasn't part of our life in the good old days when we just planted some vegetables and whatever. The amount of information that's coming into our sensory vehicle, our body, through our brains, through our bodies, through our brains, through our bodies, is so much more. And it's not just the maths in the maths class that's the information that I'm talking about. It's the colors, it's the speed of the cars, it's the amount of people we have to interact with, it's the amount of new information, and God knows with technology and we just have this enormous amount of information coming into our I guess if you're just sitting in your lounge and you're sitting on a phone, you're not so enriched in your information. But if you walk out the door, all the people, all the lights, all the traffic, all of that it's not noise, it's information. It comes into your system. Now the thing is, if your system is just normal, like most of ours is, the amount of information coming into us is a little abnormal. It's a little different from what it was. And we have become overwhelmed. The majority of us are overwhelmed. We are anxious. We are afraid. We're very angry. We're frustrated. We're pent up. We're depressed. We can't keep up with all this information. We can't juggle all these balls. It's too much. And we've gotten ourselves into a right mess. And if you look at the world, it's a right mess. Now, there are a few of us, I wouldn't really include myself in this, that are well. They're well coordinated, they're quiet, they're structured, they have all their things in order, they're educated, they're refined, they're dynamic, they go through life and they make everything happen. They keep it together, they know how to self-care and self-regulate and eat healthy food and go and exercise, and their body systems seem to be quite able to cope with this madness that we're in. And it is true that some of us are better coordinated than others and have a capacity to handle all of this sensory information that's coming at us in comparison to the rest of us. So what have been the solutions that we found in this day and age? At the moment, we are taking ice baths, which I think basically shock out the information out of your system and they get you to a place where you just basically numb yourself down. On the one hand. And on the other hand, I think the intense sensory experience structures the mess inside of you and brings about a sense of peace. Same with meditation. So meditating is trying to lessen the information that's coming into your system, quieting down your nerves, opening up your clarity of thought and ability to perceive and hear the clock and to listen to the birds and to feel the seat underneath you and to notice your breathing and Notice where you tense in your body, and no tension. Or teaches you to just basically think. Nothing. That one's hard for me. But it's a nice skill and a good practice for lessening and quietening the noise or the information. Now back to the reason why I started the video, or the point of this particular talk. Conscious guidance. So for me, instead of lessening the information, I'd like to tell you a different story, to say that your body is like a road map. That's not a road map, a road full of cars. Think of the cars as the information, and think of the road as your capacity to process the information. So think of Lagos, and always it somewhere in Nigeria, Africa, or in LA, where the traffic is just absolute madness. Let me not say that. So your body is made up of pathways of energy to handle all the information coming into it. Now, when it's a big mess and you have potholes, or you have cars that don't know the rules of the road, and there's a big clog up of traffic here, and there's a big accident there, an accident that's been like, people have built roads around this accident because nobody's going to fix the roads. You've got this mess inside of your body, and you just keep having more information come in, and it's basically a nightmare. So the point of conscious guidance is to be able to know that your body is responsible for embodying this enormous amount of information from you. So we want to build pathways in the moment, and when one takes time to practice this for longer than a moment, with your thinking conscious brain, you want to build roads for this information so that you can stand, not be overwhelmed by the amount coming in. Pulling your shoulders up, holding your breath, squashing your spine, pushing your head back and down, pulling your knees into your hips. Those are all attempts at locking up the pathways. If you're a lazy, careless person and you're just flailing around, then your cars and your noise in your body are just a big fat swamp. There's no direction, everything's just bleh. There's no energy, you're just... the word lazy is not necessarily always a bad thing, but in this case, when everything's just a big swamp, then it's not good. So conscious direction says so you want to identify yourself. Either you're very tense, or you're not tense at all, or you're a combination of the two. One half of you is tense, the other half of you is completely unembodied and uninhabited. So we're going to be, it's like doing like a spring cleaning of yourself, bringing things into order so that there can be life and so that there can be freedom. So you want your spine, which sits from your hips into the middle of your head. It's your big fat main road. It's a road that goes up your body, and you want it to be free. You want a flow of information, sensory information, cars, to be able to flow from here all the way up into your brain. And then the information goes into your brain, and then your sensory apparatus, if these pathways are clear and open, becomes accurate. So when your neck is quiet, it's not clunking down, you got a free neck, your head's going forward and up, and your back is lengthening and widening. And because of that structure, because of that road map going this way and this way, your shoulders can be quiet, and your arms can lengthen away to the fingertips. Your hips can be free, and your knees can lengthen and be directed forward and away from your hips. So this is a skill to have in your back pocket. It's an understanding to carry with you as you walk down the road, as you have life in general, is to be aware of what are the natural directions of this road, and to take up your white traffic cop gloves and say to yourself, you are full of noise and information, and I'm going to clean you out. My white gloves are going to be, covered with like domestic cleaning products. I'm putting a whole bunch of metaphors together. Please try keep up. Damn it. So, your neck is free. You want your neck to be quiet and relaxed so that your head can go forward and up, so that your back, your spine can lengthen and widen. Lengthens and widens and lengthens and widens. So in the middle of your day, when you're busy going, it's a difficult day, you say to yourself, stop. Think of the length in your spine. Think of the space in the middle of your head so that your neck in this area can be free. You want your head to sit like one of those on top of your head. It must be free and not pulling, squashing back and down onto your spine, but being allowed to sit on top. Go forward and up the back of your head, up the back of your back, man. You're going up, and the knees go away from free hips. And fine. So if you do this today, good for you. And if you do it a bit tomorrow, good for you. And then you're going to forget about it for 3 weeks, and that's fine. The thing is, it's either that or it's not that. And if it's not that, it's a big fat mess. And I don't think we have the luxury anymore to not take into cognizance our bodies, our psychophysical organisms that are running this world. Look what a big mess it is. So we need to all take responsibility of our own little temples, as they say. Think of it as your bedroom. Think of it as your work. Think of it as your children. It's the thing that's it's the closest. It's the thing that you are responsible for. You need to be responsible for it. You need to guide it, and you need to get to know what's happening inside there. And I'm totally lecturing now. But if we don't start, look, there's lots of things we have to do, but this is a responsibility that is an honor to be able to guide. It is also such a privilege to be able to get a bit better at it, because it gives you some freedom. It gives you some life. It gives you some direction. So if you've got a directed body, you experience the world differently. You're not contorted and at the mess of whatever's happening and coming into all this madness. You're actually ordered here. And when you walk out the door, you go like, oh my goodness, it's madness out there. But you're not overwhelmed by it, because your house is open and directed so that this information can come through it, feed you with information if there's anything you need to experience and be aware of. But it doesn't come and pull you down. Yeah, so our lives are overwhelmed by sensory information. And I don't think we have the luxury anymore to ignore this, or to make it so it's not our responsibility, or to think that it doesn't have an enormous impact on our lives. But to say, yay, but to say, hooray, but to say, yeehaw. We can get in it. We can get in with our brains, and we can guide it consciously. We can take responsibility, and we can do our part. Play the game of life. Okay. Hope you have a good day, and I shall speak to you next time.